Hi everyone, I'm Jules Tush, a speech pathologist of 18 years. The question was about supporting autistic children like your own. So from mums and dads asking me what are some things that they can do at home that really help that can help their child progress in all areas, including communication. And something I always refer back to is my experience with our son who is diagnosed on the spectrum, and something I noticed that I did differently between the families I've supported over that 18 years and my own child. And what it is acceptance. So when I have a client come in, a family, a child, I automatically accepted that child, where their learning state was, where their communication stage was, how their play was, all of those things. I was detached in a way and focusing solely on how to support that child the way that I knew how. So all the research-based strategies, techniques, etc. And I noticed when it came to my own child, there was all the other emotions that that I'm talking about as parents. The confusion, frustrations, etc., like fear. And I realized that the difference was I had more expectations for my own child. And I think as parents, we do have those thoughts and, predictions that we have for our children. And if they don't match, there's that expectation management, that grief, that loss. And it's just different, right? And it's to do with us, not the child. So what I explained to that mum was, for me personally, I had to stop thinking about when are the words going to come? When is he going to talk? When is he going to notice the other children? And I had to really realize that if I'm in that state of thinking about what he's not doing, I'm actually projecting a bit of anxiety, a bit of fear, a bit of disappointment, things like that just aren't helpful when we're looking at supporting and growing a young child. So I'll explain. The play state, so that silly, fun, fluid, flowing energy that we have around children, is their learning state. So when they're feeling relaxed, regulated, supported, accepted for who they are able to learn and grow in the way that's meaningful for them. So they're relaxed, basically. Think about when your best learning state is very similar. If you're anxious or feeling criticized or rushed, you will not learn very well. You probably won't like your teacher very much. So that was one of the best things to do it's easier said than done. Relax into where your child is already at and accept that. So I got to a point where I accepted my child maybe won't use words, and there was, some change involved in that, but I got there and it energized me having accepted that. And I was then able to relax into play with him more. I was able to have more energy for myself, which meant we went out to more parks, which meant I talked to more parents. So just being aware of where you're at and the energy that you have around your child, and being aware that, yes, that is completely natural to have that, confusion, sadness, disappointment, etc. But don't stay there. Because it's just not going to be useful for you or your child. And it's so draining, as you know. It's exhausting. It's not fun. It's a place to visit, but don't stay there. If you need support, like professional support with that, absolutely access it. I say first or burst. Parents, you should have your own therapist first before you even look into any supports for your child, because you are the one driving the bus. And that is the most important thing to focus on is you. Are you being supported in the way that you need so that you can be the best version for your child or your children? The next thing is, not having those rushed expectations. Again, easier said than done. But if you have that goal and you're really fixated on achieving it, the days are going to feel a lot slower. They're going to feel, just really hard. And you're going to, unfortunately, put on your child that they're not doing enough or they're not trying enough. And that's just so unfair. It's unfair for everyone. So really relax into it, accept where your child is, accept, that they may be that way for a long time, and that is okay. Learn about different neurotypes, and that where your child is at is 100% natural. It's where they're meant to be. It's how their brain's developing. You have very little control over that. And when we do want to come in for supports, we want to do it from a place of love. And I know it sounds a bit like cliche or a bit like kitsch or whatever, but from a safe space. So all of the research-based programs, all of the supports, Hanen, DIR, can't think of any right now, but there's heaps. They are all about the parent-child connection. They're all about the child being regulated. When children are very young, they regulate off of you. Okay, so they're going to mimic your nervous system. So again, if you're in that maybe sad, anxious state and you stay there for a while, that child's going to be picking up on that, and they're going to be feeling that. And it's obviously, it's not a comfortable thing. It's not a great place to be. So transition as quickly as you can through that and start focusing on yourself, putting energy and life back into you, and then sharing that with your child and going on them on their journey. Okay, so not trying to take them on yours, but really leaning into what they like, regulating your nervous system around them, having like those deep breaths, slowing things down, not having a goal for the day. Or if your goal is, we go to the park, we blow bubbles at the park. That's my goal. It's not he will say bubble or he will look at another child or talk to another child. Things that are outside of our control, just let them all go. There is so little that we can control. And once you are able to master that within yourself, you'll see the energy that you bring will actually want your child to engage more and explore more and be around you more and potentially others more. But get to a point where you're not like holding out for that. Where if it happens, it happens. And I remember when our son first started saying some sounds and words, he'd say like, nine. And we would just go, he's sounds like he's speaking German. We weren't really like too fixated on whether he was or wasn't doing something, because we already knew we were doing everything that we could, and that he was going to develop the way that he was going to develop. And we started to notice he was enjoying things more. He was coming out of his own little world a bit more. He was, just being more of who he was. And to do that, we had to accept him 100% and accept where he was at. Now, a lot of parents have been asking me about the telepathy tapes, which is around children who are diagnosed autistic non-speaking or not orally talking, and how there's that connection between predicted telepathy, or that they can understand your thoughts, or not vice versa. They can understand your thoughts. And look, I did start listening to that podcast, and I have heard and read previously of other situations that didn't involve autistic children, but they were reading their parents' thoughts or those around them. Now, look, I'm not here to I'm very into science, and I believe that other people's realities are theirs to have and enjoy. But what I will say is it did kind of make me sit up and go, well, if my son could understand my thoughts, if he could transcribe what I'm thinking, I want it to be the most beautiful thing ever. And that helped me come out of that, that worry, that confusion, that sadness, because I would never want my son to hear what I was thinking and think that it was related to him, or that he wasn't doing enough or good enough or doing this the right way. So I started to change that and send him, beautiful parent thoughts, and changed my whole attitude and made that a conscious decision. And it just made everything so much easier. So again, my goal is for parents to enjoy parenthood, enjoy these sacred childhood years that go so quickly. And you can do that even if your child does have a speech and language delay, even if they do have or don't have a diagnosis. So please don't feel like you have to become stern or boring or like goal orientated all the time, your child will not like that. You will not like that. Oh, and it is not any of the research for child development or speech therapy at all to take that approach. So get on their level, be playful, accept where they're at, accept who they are, and accept that whatever they develop into is what's right for them. So let go of the outcome. A therapist can help you with that if you need. But for me personally, I'd already seen this with so many families, with so many parents, that I was able to go back into that, like, oh yeah, this is going to be okay. I need to snap out of my, my child's developing differently mindset and accept that and be proud of it. So it can and will happen over time. And that's kind of when the magic happens. That's when we see, I think it truly is, we do see things that were there that we hadn't actually noticed because we were so focused on like the negative. But I think it also, and I know it also allows the child to become more in their own element and to feed off of your reflect off of your nervous system and grow that and have it be fun and playful, and continue to talk to your child as if they do understand you. To treat them like all your children or your kids' children. Sorry, or your friends' children. Getting mixed up with my words. And just relax into it. So that was the advice I gave to that mum, and I give it that same advice to my families and to whoever's listening to this video. It does make a huge change, and there really is, I encourage you to have conversations with a therapist, but my personal opinion is, to have great gratitude around our kids, and if there is sadness, to accept that and grow from it and move on, but don't allow that to be your child's childhood or your experience of your child's childhood. Move through it and let me know if you have any questions or comments. Happy to answer them. And